The Christian walk is a journey. And it works well if we walk it together. It's very difficult to walk it separately. To walk out of... None of us can hear God alone. We need each other. We need to walk with each other. And we're all amazingly similar. We all have deep needs. We all have deep disappointments. We all have times of joy and times of sorrow. This prayer series has been good for me. I don't claim to be some expert on prayer. If I think about prayer, it gets too religious for me, actually. And what I mean by that is, we've talked about that. If we aim at prayer, it actually is kind of difficult. Don't aim at the string or the prayer. Aim at God. Aim at your Father. We talked about He's our Father. And we can come to Him. And then get in touch with you. The only thing that you can give Jesus is who you really are. The real you needs to connect with the real God. Don't say, am I praying right? Am I doing this right? Do I have the right motives? Do I have the right this? You'll just shut down and not do anything. Just lift your voice. Come to Him as you are. God gets excited when we come to Him with no masks. And it's difficult. And we talked about that last week. The difficulty of coming just as we are to God is that we are messy. And the problem is that when we come to God and we're messy, we get more in touch with our mess. Because God is such a good God and such a great God and such a perfect God and such a this God and that God. And what happens is that it makes prayer worse. It can make prayer worse when we come to God messy. Because we're supposed to clean our act up before we come, right? I mean, we've heard it. We've all tried to do that. Well, I can't do that. I can't pray. I can't this. I'm not quite good enough. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I'm involved in this. I'm involved in that. I don't have the right motive, the right this, the right... It becomes messier. But that is what we got to do. Staying away is not going to be good. Isolation. I think we understand. When we slow down to pray, we're immediately confronted with how unspiritual we are. Isn't that right? I was looking at my prayers several months ago. It's very me-oriented stuff. And it's just like, man, just to come to God for God, it takes a while to go there. But I do know this. If I just come to God for me on a continual basis and not get beyond me, I'll soon block God out. Because I can't get all of what I want. But the beauty of the Christ life is that we come to this place and realize what I want in my life isn't really that great. All my desires really aren't that great. We find life when we actually exchange our life and have Him in our lives. And we get to this place as we continue to walk this walk where we actually love God. And when we actually love God, prayer is great. We get into a place of intimacy, of getting beyond ourselves. It's not about me. slow down, pray, we are immediately confronted how spiritual we are and how difficult it is to concentrate on God. We don't know how bad we are until we try to be good. How many know that? We don't know how bad we are until we try to be good. Read Romans 7 for a while. You'll figure it out. The good that I want to do, I don't do it. I do the bad that I won't want to do. Nothing exposes our selfishness like spiritual powerlessness. And spiritual powerlessness like prayer. Totally. That's why it's difficult. But there's a place beyond that. This is a starting place. There's a place well beyond this. Not that we ever... How many times you get surprised with your own self-absorbedness? You get surprised with your own selfishness and me thing? I talked with Robbie the other day. I talk with her several times a week. Sometimes more than that. Sometimes maybe less. But she called several times this week. And she said that she was afraid because she dreamt that I died. And then she asked the question, how did you deal with it when your mother died? My foundation, if it's in people, it's going to be bad, friends. I mean, I love people, but it can't be in people. I found life in Jesus. That's where my identity is. And that's not a simple one-time shot. I'm going to find my identity. One of the first steps, go ahead, brother. You can come around. Go ahead. One of the first steps is realizing who we are without Jesus. Who are you without Jesus? Have you come to terms with who you really are? Scratch Jesus out of your life. Who are you really? I'm a mess. I'm a total mess. With Jesus, I'm still messy. That's for sure. But I'm a total mess. Who am I without Him? And then finding who you are in Him. There's a completely different life. When I really started getting exercise with bike, I didn't realize there's no world out there, man. There's all sorts of bike trails and this trail and that trail. Man, that's a whole other place. I didn't even know that world existed in this world until you get to that world. And some of us don't know this world exists, that we can really connect with God and go to a completely different place. Even though you're in the world, you're really not of the world anymore. It's a whole different spot. 3 reasons people don't pray. I don't like statements like this because I'm sure there's a lot more. These are just general reasons. What are some reasons? We don't think we have time. And if we don't think we have time, I think we've missed it. What do we give our time to? Okay, I'm sorry.
What we think is worth it.
What we think is worth it. Okay, I have a calendar on my phone, and I go to my phone, and I can pull up certain things. What do you put in your phone or your calendar? Or maybe you have a calendar at home. Or maybe some of you guys, you have your wife write it on the calendar. Whatever it is. There's a calendar somewhere. What do you put in your calendar? What kind of specific things?
Doctor's appointments.
What now?
Doctor appointments. Anniversaries, birthdays, meetings with friends.
It's connected to people. It's connected to people.
Yeah.
By and large, everything you put in there is connected to people. It's connected to you as a person connecting with somebody else or some other thing that connects you with a person. It's connecting with people somewhere along the way. And so the question is, when we don't think, isn't God a personality? They call him Jesus, the third person of the Trinity. He's a person. He came to this earth. Put him in your schedule. Schedule time with Jesus. I don't know any other way to do this. We got to schedule time with Jesus. John and Peter went to the temple at the time of prayer. I don't know about you. It's meaningful when I have a specific time and specific place. Normally when I get up in the morning, tomorrow it'll probably be 5:45. And I'll get in my truck. And the first account that I go to is a good 45 minutes maybe? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I pray. I don't want to turn on I don't really want to turn on the radio. That's not good for me. It's distracting. So God, I don't know what I'm going to run into today. There's going to be people that you want me to see. I don't know who they are. And I start praying. I start praying for you guys. I pray for. Normally I just pray for my day at first and then I branch out beyond that. You got to have an alone time somewhere. I don't know how to grow with God. It's little by little, I think. It's not a priority. We kind of talked about that. We don't have time. I like what it says, prayer is in the category of values and opinions. Prayer, God. And we don't think somehow prayer, God, connects with real life. If we believe that prayer connected with real life, we pray. Somehow we don't think prayer connects with life. It's not a priority. We don't feel like praying. It's kind of, we're distracted by something. And then if things get too bad, normally what happens? What happens, Kathy, when things get too bad?
We're all you.
And what do I advise you to do? You need to get a hold of someone greater than I. Okay, let's rehearse one more time. There is a God. Let's say it again. There is a God. And I'm not him. And you're not him. All right, there is a God.
There is a God.
And I'm not him. And you're not him.
And you're not him.
That reminds me of the one lady, man, she was trying to get, this was many years ago. She was trying to get a hold of me. That's before the cell phone. It was ringing. I wasn't home. I wasn't at the office. I was out with other people doing other things. She left all sorts of, when I came back to my house, there were like 3, 4 messages. The first one was sweet. The next one had a little edge on it. The next one was really mad at me. And then finally, the last one said, since you weren't around, I decided to talk to God. It was great. Since you were around, I decided to talk to God. And you know what? We worked it out. Everything's okay. So the next time I saw this lady, I said to her, keep doing that. Just keep doing it. You're right. You just keep doing it. Whatever you did, just do it. It was classic. Every time I think about it, it makes me laugh. Isn't that like us? And it's just, we're all in this place, you know. enough, if we're needy enough, and as one intervention book says, people won't change until they reach their bottom, right? And this was a Christian intervention book, and it says, instead of having people reach their bottom, ask God to bring the bottom up to where they are. So, that's a point. I was at one point a Weight Watcher leader, and there's I remember the one guy, he came in for another guy, stand on the scale, berate themselves. They're only 7 pounds overweight. Why does someone that's 7 pounds overweight feel tension and know that they have to lose weight? And for some people, it takes them a lot more. That was my case. It took me a lot more for me to reach a bottom than the person that's just 7 pounds.
And why are some of the 7-pounders hopeless about it?
Oh.
And some of the ones that have 100 to lose keep going steadily.
I've had people before, all of a sudden they stand on the scale. I mean, it's strange. Lady stand on the scale. She gained 2 pounds. Because I take the weight and I write it in her book, and they said, you gained 2 pounds. She said, thank God, it was only 2 pounds. I had this birthday, and I had this birthday, and I had this birthday, and I had this and this and the other thing. And then the lady right after comes and stands on the scale. She just lost 0.4. And she's upset and has a major attitude. And I ask people before they stand on the scale, this is my normal thing. How are you? And then they say, well, let me stand on the scale first. And I said, that scale don't determine who you are. You tell me how you are. And they just kind of look at me weird. But I've been kind of used to that along the way. That scale don't tell you. You tell me how you are. I said, this is just an indicator. That's it. Of your weight, not who you are. And we got to get beyond that stuff. Because body image is huge. I don't think we have time to stop praying. We don't feel like praying. Prayer doesn't make a difference. I have 4 reasons up there. I don't know. There was another thing in there. I don't know. You missed it. I missed it too. But prayer doesn't make a difference. Many Christian followers of Jesus seem to stand at the edge of cynicism, struggling with the defeat and weariness. Prayers about being God's child and trusting our Heavenly Father. It's about His life flowing in and through us. It's about being sensitive and responsive to a connected relationship with our Father. Prayer is not for getting our will done, but it's God's lifeline in us, reaching to our brokenness, and it's God's life through us, reaching to a broken world. But somehow it doesn't make a difference if you're living your